I don't really understand why people dislike the war system so much.
Bravo.
Because,
Please
at least for me, the unit stack warfare system is like an evil CK3 is terrible and unfundamental. That makes me never want to touch these games again. Well, the Viking 3 it's not good, but it's not terrible.
No. Before you say, I'm just some smelly, Vic-free nationalist who just wants a Victoria 2.5. I am actually a fan of the decision to make the warfare system autonomous. It's just not good. The Victoria 3 system are deeply flawed. All of them. Not just the warfare system, all of them. And I love this game. It's so much fun. I have had more fun in Victoria 3 than I've had probably any other Paradox game combined. But that doesn't mean it's good. Because fun doesn't necessitate it being good. Like, half of the game wasn't even where it's supposed to be. There's absolutely no flavor. The laws are just complete RNG. Most of the system rely on stacks and stacks and stacks of random numbers generated specifically to fuck you. In my videos that I made on the game, I have made it very clear that I am having fun playing it. Because it's really fun. Like, a lot of people are playing Victoria 3 right now and having a blast playing it. But there's just a lot of things that need to be ironed out. And I don't really know how to explain it all. So why not go through a Russia playthrough, if you can call it that, of Victoria 3 and see what lies beyond. Because if no one else is going to talk how deeply flawed Victoria 3 as a game is, without just saying warfare system bad, I am actually going insane. We first begin by selecting our preferred nation, and after a nice graphic, the problems start. Instead of having to dynamically deal with the problem of serfdom which plagues Russia in this time period, we can game the entire system. So how exactly do we go about this major factor of our nation? We export grain, of course. This triggers the single-handedly worst journal entry in the game because it's way too good. So good, in fact, that Paradox coded the AI to do the journal entry every game on patch 2. 2 patches in, even the AI realized that this shit's broken. Nevertheless, corn laws are triggered by you setting an export focus on grain and partially waiting for one of 3 events to fire. You want the modern conservative event, but the other 2 also give massive bonuses such as loyalists and extra minimum wage. All 3 events are good for you, and you want all 3 of them to fire. That's up to RNG though, because after you get the modern conservative, events will stop firing and the landowners will be mad at you for removing corn laws. But what makes this so completely broken that I just began screaming? Well, the modern conservative event makes you have a market liberal in charge of the landowners. What? Huh? In charge of the biggest interest group in most nations at the start of the game. There's just a guy who hates serfdom and loves laissez-faire and free trade. Because what? He hates serfdom. So, you can get rid of the fundamental part of Russian society as early as 1 year into the game with some luck. Something which I didn't have. You get to have early laissez-faire, the strongest economic law in the game by far, and free trade after you research it. That makes not only Russia's political game completely redundant, because it's all made up by someone exporting grain, but it also makes every single political game in the game redundant, because everyone can just get a fucking market liberal in charge of the landowners. With only a few exceptions, like Japan, because they're isolationist, so they can't export grain, and that's just the first second of the game. I am not going to go into the economic side of things, mainly because I do not care for that at all. So we're just going to go ahead and skip forward for a little bit.
such as me randomly getting all of my laws on turn 1, because I'm just kinda based like that. It's not a very fun thing now, is it? Because it entirely depends on RNG if a law goes through or not. There was a 20% chance I could get that professional army going, but no, it goes down again. But what if there was the 20% chance? What if I hit that? Everyone would fucking hate this law that I've just introduced by sheer luck, and I don't know how you make such a bad game! The system doesn't work. And for some reason, instead of completely revitalizing it, in the next patch, they're going to make it more RNG dependent. I am going insane. There's no way that Paradox actually thinks that this is a good idea. But somehow, through sheer force of will, they are refusing to back down. And I feel like that's just the entire focus of Vic 3 now, is them refusing to back down, because that's what everyone says. Oh, this is gonna be another Imperator Rome. Oh, no, it's not going to be another Imperator Rome, because we ain't backing down, bitch. We're just making these shitty systems slightly better so you can get off our ass. I am rambling, but I don't care. You've clicked on this video. I am angry. And I am tired of Vic 3. I am also tired of having to pay 15 bucks for shitty, worthless DLC which don't actually address the flaws of the game. The military side of things in this game is completely watered down from even Victoria 2. In Victoria 2 you could move units. In this game you can't. But I have already said that I am a fan of not being able to move units, because then failure is actually a thing that can occur naturally to everyone. Not just the AI, also the player. But it's not good. It's a horrible system. There's like just a few laws that barely do anything. You can pay your army better, which makes them less morale loss, I guess, but that's not good. Like, there's only one deciding factor really, and that's the recruitment. Like, that's just the equipment. Maybe you can, you know, get an extra battle in with a good defensive or offensive general, but the other general traits don't affect anything. It's just defensive and offensive strategist. It doesn't matter if they have like a terrain-based one, because they don't ever seem to work. It also makes every single army in the world be the exact same. Can we at least get some individuality? Like, for example, the newest patch added a little tree to the Russian nation that when you have nationalism you can go ahead and invade Central Asia and also get some good old territory of the Qing Empire. That is some nice addition which should have been in the game from the start, but I digress. It gives you some nice bonuses, like if you take Outer Manchuria and all of the territory from the Qing Empire and also a Trans-Siberian Railway through there, you get some really nice bonuses on Vladivostok. It's honestly one of the best examples of getting bonuses for accomplishing journal entries. And I would love to complete like country-specific journal entries and get bonuses for it, because, you know, that's how video games work. You get a task, you do the task, and after you do the task, you get a reward. But in Vic 3, you don't get a task. You don't even get a reward most of the time when you get one. Like, the reward for most of the things, like, Romanticism is a journal entry that just doesn't give you anything useful except more technologies. It just gives you a heads up in technology, and it doesn't do anything. Because the only heads up it gives is to the next stage of arts academies, which doesn't do anything except give you prestige you don't need. In Victoria 1, no, 2, what am I saying? In Victoria 2, there was a incentive to get the #1 grade power, except just a dopamine rush, because it was a combination of prestige, industry, and military. You could have shit prestige, but if you have a really good military and industrial complex, then you can just become the world's greatest power. Vic 3, however, completely disregards the other two and only makes it prestige, obviously. industry and also military goes into the prestige counter, but it's just worse. It's honestly just worse overall. You can still prestige spam your way all the way to the top, because now prestige is not generated from, you know, cool things that happen in the world. No, instant prestige is generated from one simple thing: arts academies. That's it. Also, this one event which gives you 20 prestige. This game is shit. This is not a good game. Armies completely lack individuality. Everything lacks anything that could be considered cool. I am not having fun talking about how this game fails on so many levels, but why am I having fun playing it? Or, more importantly, why did I have fun playing it? Because I stopped having fun. I stopped having fun about 2 months ago. You might think, oh yeah, you did a bunch of YouTube videos on it and you got tired of it, but like I was playing the same amount of Vic 3 just constantly for a few months. But then I stopped. Because there's nothing to do. This game is empty. It's like an outline. This is what you would get if you're going up to like a meeting to discuss a new idea for a video game. This is the prototype people would come up with. But there's nothing. There's nothing here. The people don't do a revolution. You're the revolution. If you don't do anything about the monarchy that is sitting on the throne, it's gonna stay there until the rest of the game. Nothing is going to challenge you. And that's just a fact of Victoria 3. In Victoria 2, you had to fight to preserve your monarchy. There has been so many times where I didn't want to go off the monarchy. I just wanted to do a good old authoritarian monarchy run, and what happened? I was deposed, and hope-de-doo, I'm a republic now. And I can therefore roleplay as a republic instead of a monarchy, and it's so good. Like, there was times where I was devastated after a war that I also won, but it was just so completely crippling to my nation that literally everyone rose up and my government switched like 10 times. But at the end of it, we were a democratic republic, and I was happy with that outcome because it changes things up. But in Vic 3, you don't even get the people's revolution. You just get some weird ass thing where you just slowly establish elections for literally no reason, because you don't ever have to, and after you establish elections, people are going to vote for the trade unions, and if they vote for the trade unions, oh boy, you're gonna go communist this game if you want to, but you can also just not. You can just never abolish the monarchy because no one cares. No one ever cares about you or your monarchy, never cares about anything. And that's the main issue, right? You don't ever get an incentive to actually change things up, do anything other than the thing you have at the start of the game. Why abolish serfdom? It's just some people. I mean, if you abolish serfdom, you can get laissez-faire because you can't switch off traditionalism without getting rid of serfdom. But like, why? Is there any reason other than white line go up in the GDP graph? Because I don't think there is. I don't think there ever was, really. In Victoria 2, you were forced to by the angry people. Now you get an arbitrary number of radicals, but do they ever do anything? No, they don't. They never do anything. And I don't understand why. Like, I know this is going to get partially, like, fixed by the new update with the agitators, but I don't even know if that's gonna help anything, because in Victoria 2 people actually rose up without telling you half a year before they do. You don't have any time to prepare, maybe you are not prepared, and they just rise up against you, because that's how it works, that's how it should work, but it isn't how it works for some reason. I don't understand. Why did Paradox do this? I will never know. But what I do know is that I'm tired. I'm tired of Vic 3. I'm gonna play the DLC. I'm gonna make a video on it. Yeah. Am I gonna enjoy it? I don't know. I don't know. Are the problems fixed? Probably not. Nothing is fixed. It's not the Vic Free way. The Vic Free way is doubling down on shitty design decisions and saying that you actually have the moral and intelligence high ground because the developers are sacks of shit. Disregard that last part. I am emotional. I am tired. I am everything, actually. I am sorry. I just want a good game. I just want to get 1,000 views by playing a good game. But no, I can only do that by playing this shit-ass game that I don't have fun with anymore because it has no content. And the DLC, where you can actually add more journal entries and content, they just focus on France, a nation I played once. One time, because I don't care, I don't want to play France, but I have to play France. I am fine. I am fine. Cue the fucking clown.